Just my thoughts today on that impeachment hearing with Nasty Nadler. Watching it has been an exercise in absolute stupidity. We all know already that the Democrats on the Judiciary Committee in the House have already set their minds, we're going to impeach Trump. So this has been a colossal waste of our time. So, of course, the councils, the one for the Democrats, the staff member from Schiff's committee, is going to tell Nadler and the Democrats on this council, on this committee, everything they want to hear. They're going to agree with each other. So it's a foregone conclusion. Now, my problem with Nadler is you see in his procedures, his point of order, the Democrats want to sit there and take a lunch break or a break. Oh, we'll vote this in. But when Republicans want to take a 30-minute break, we'll table it and kill it so the Republicans can't take their 30-minute recess. My problem is what Representative Collins was talking about. Schiff, the moron from California, his district covers part of LA County, should have been there at that committee hearing. It proves that Schiff is a coward. He didn't want to go before Nasty Nadler's committee and sit there and have to explain his report. Oh, and with these phone records of Nunes of Visalia. Of course they wanted his phone records because they want to smear Nunes because he was the ranking member of Schiff's committee. So, of course, they want to smear Nunes of Visalia. And when Collins asked him, he says, who told you to do it? Well, this is part of our standard procedure, and we do when we could do these congressional investigations, we get people's metadata, and we issue these subpoenas, and we go after the metadata. The whole entire thing we have to remember. Going back to Obama, we had the AP scandal in the spring of 2013, where the Justice Department back then went after reporters. James Rosen of Fox News, is one of the examples. When they went after the press, Barack Obama treated the press like garbage. He treated them like shit, and that's the whole entire thing. So, it's okay for Democrats to go after the press, to go after people's phone records, but don't you Republicans dare do the same thing. During this committee hearing, all you hear is the same arguments over and over and over and over again. For 8 years, conservatives complained bitterly about Barack Obama. And what do you hear with this committee? They're just repeating the same stuff we heard for 8 years. They're pretending to be conservatives again. They're using all the conservative arguments. Oh, we're originalists. We love the founders. Oh, the founders are the greatest people we ever know. But yet, they call the founders racists. They don't like the founders. They get rid of their statues. They're trying to change our nation's history. Oh, and we're originalists and we love the founders. Liars. My problem, again, is that all he had to say, the counsel for Schiff, was, yes, Adam Schiff ordered us to do this. That's all he had to say. But of course, he has to cover Schiff's ass and take the heat from Collins and the rest of the Republicans. So this is just another one of those sham hearings. And so we're going to be put, another dog and pony show put on by the Democrats, because we already know that the Democrats on Schiff's committee and on Nasty Nadler are going to vote for impeachment. They want Trump gone because he hurts their feelings, because he doesn't toe the line, he doesn't pass their policies, he doesn't give them socialism. Now, thinking about what they're talking about, it's standard operating political procedure, to say to a foreign government, say for instance, I say to you, those who do watch this video, I want something. You have a corrupt country, and there's a bunch of corruption, and I have taxpayer money. So I have to be concerned sitting in the White House as part of foreign policy. I don't want to give money to your country because there's corruption. And so, of course, I'm going to sit there and say, I'm very skeptical of giving out foreign aid because we have a lot of governments that have a lot of corruption, and we don't want our money getting into the hands of these corrupt companies in these foreign countries, because I have to be a steward, if I'm Trump, being a steward of taxpayer money. So I have to put a pause and say, wait a minute, I need to know about the corruption at Burisma. I need to know and be able to report back to the American public that the corruption issues are being dealt with so I can give foreign aid. And when giving the foreign aid, I can report back to the taxpayers that it's not being used by a corrupt company like Burisma in Ukraine to advance their agenda. Now, the thing we forget about Ukraine has always had problems, whether it was the Germans in World War II that invaded them, or whether it was Lenin that took them over. They've always had a problem. So it doesn't matter to me if it's the Russians or the Ukrainians. Oh, and here we go. Now the Democrats are defending Putin when it comes to the Ukraine. Are you kidding me? Oh, now the Democrats love Putin. Putin sit there and he slammed Obama. Oh, but that's okay. Then you heard the counsel for Shifty Schiff say, well, it's, this is just what you do, you get international consensus and everybody gets along and it's a big love fest and they withhold money. When Joe Biden specifically said in that video, and the guy stood up for Biden, tried to give Biden a pass, what a bunch of BS. He gave Biden a pass. Oh, don't you dare investigate us Democrats. We can do anything. Okay, so what did you see Biden do? He interfered and influenced events in the Ukraine by saying we're going to hold up this money. So Biden and the Democrats in the White House influenced events in the Ukraine. Oh, interfering with elections. My big problem with the Democrats, many of you may not remember, is South Africa. The Democrats back during the years of Reagan were outraged about Nelson Mandela. So they went to South Africa and they did everything in their power to get Nelson Mandela elected. So the Democrats interfered with the electoral process in South Africa during the years of Reagan to get Nelson Mandela elected. You had cities here in California and across the country that boycotted South Africa. You had international pressure. You had the liberal media in New York slamming South Africa because they wanted Nelson Mandela elected. So the Democrats interfered with elections in South Africa to get Nelson Mandela elected. Barack Obama interfered in Israel trying to unseat Benjamin Netanyahu. So the Democrats can interfere with elections anywhere they want, but don't you dare do it. But don't you Republicans dare do it. The problem I have in the 20th century is the United States has done this before. You go back and look at the 20th century, you have Noriega, Panama, you have Batista of Cuba. So the Central Intelligence Agency has interfered and influenced elections in the 20th century. This is nothing new. This is standard political games. So what we have is a farce. They don't like Trump. They want to get rid of him because they're trying to influence elections here in America. So the Democrats are going around influencing elections here in America because they want Trump gone. So the Democrats are trying to influence our elections here to ensure Trump doesn't win. You have Google that's going to try to influence the elections to get Democrats elected. You have Democrats in Congress that want to influence the elections here to stop Trump from winning. So in the end, the Democrats are influencing this country and trying to interfere with our elections here by not wanting Trump to get elected. So they're doing all the things that they say that they stand against. What a load of crap these hearings are. Now you have the Pfizer report coming out. Now that's going to be argued over. And those are my thoughts for today.